Hi there, it's Kevin with Gone Rogue Games. You guys are killing me. You guys are killing me. So I don't know if you can see the massive amounts of boxes that I have to go through. And again, these are normal orders, normal everyday orders that are coming in. So this market continues to be absolutely hot. So we are going to have to rearrange this room because there's poor Buttons that's hiding underneath piles of boxes. I went through all these ones, still have to go through all of these ones for today. So orders are going to be late today. I still haven't been able to get to the Pokemon and get all allocated. That will get out. Give me some time. We had family over this weekend. We had pre-release for this weekend. Hope everyone did attend your pre-release. So I actually thought Aether Drift was quite fun. It was an interesting format, at least it's sealed. I'm going to be excited to play this in draft because I think draft will be a lot more fun to build around the synergies of this set. Where this set ended up being a kind of a trap format where the whole speed mechanic is like, okay, it's going to be a quick, fast format, but it ended up being some board states that got clunked and really bomby too. That's when I noticed there's a lot of the bomb cards were winning games. So aggro ended up being, like I said, sort of a trap. You could get it to work, but oftentimes it just wasn't enough to push through with all the 1-3s and 2-4s that exist in the format. But anyway, I'll have to talk about this on my other channel, Rogue Deck Builder, if I ever get back to doing videos on Magic the Gathering. So again, I'm pretty split with Aether Drift. I wasn't really a fan of this race car, death race type theme. I wasn't a fan of like the Duskmorn type theme, but the mechanics of both of them were good. So as long as Magic continues to create good mechanics, I'm going to play it. I've stated this before, I'm a big board gamer. I'm not a big fan of like birds. Wingspan is one of my favorite games. I could care less about Mars, and Terraforming Mars is one of my favorite games. So thematically speaking, I don't really care for those either. But they are great mechanics in those games, so I'll play them. So that's kind of how I feel about Magic. So anyway, where were we with this? We have a lot to go through here. Like I said, this is just normal everyday orders that we have going on, and we're going to rearrange everything in this room. Going to get rid of the studio, so the table is going to go bye-bye. So Buttons, you're going to have to find some other place to hide. The table is going to it just takes up too much space in here, and maybe in the future if we get a bigger store, we can actually end up putting like a dedicated studio again. But for now, I think we're just going to put some more shelving so I can store some more stuff and expand the desk over so that the two computers will be next to each other. That way, if I ever get an assistant, they can sit next to me and we can actually bust these out a lot quicker. So that's kind of the overall goal. We're still going strong here at Gone Rogue Games. Everything's expanding well, so up and up, which is, of course, such a breath of fresh air compared to the 2022 and 2023 era when we just felt like we were drowning, like nothing we could do could ever, make profit as they just continued to print into demand that wasn't there. So, again, I don't think that Wizard of the Coast is stepping off the brakes for their printing. We had another announcement last week, I believe. I did talk about this in my last video, that Commander decks are going to continue to get a reprint. So I'm not sure what to think about this particular Commander deck for Aether Drift. I know the sales are incredibly strong. There are no Commander decks available at distribution level. They're all gone. So that is a good sign for the demand for Aether Drift. However, there already was a Wave 2 announced because Wizards did say that they didn't print enough to the initial demand, that stores wanted a lot more, ended up getting cut on their allocations. So there is more Commander decks already in the pipelines for Aether Drift. So I think there will be a temporary bump in price as the stock runs out. I was looking at the TCG Player. There are still hundreds of copies available on TCG Player, but the sales are still pretty strong. Of course, the singles prices have absolutely collapsed. The decks were worth around $250 and $225, I believe, respectively, if you were to add up every card on TCG Market Price, and now they've gone way down. So, of course, that's exactly what's going to happen for any sealed-based product that isn't randomized, that as long as it's in print, the value of that product can only be the contents in it. Otherwise, the mass box openers are going to crack them and ship off the singles. So that's what we are seeing with Commander, as the Aether Drift Commander decks have a lot of cards that were pricey out the get-go. Now, I did see a Star City Games, I believe, open for Commander CEDH, that the new Hashaton was able to top 8. Someone already put a list together. So I'm expecting the demand of that card to be very, very strong for the next 2, 3, 4 years. So Hashaton's one you should definitely look at. I don't know why I'm going more into a topic that I do more on my Rogue Market channel, but just kind of some thoughts have been run around in my head. So again, not a whole lot to talk about today as we are very, very busy. I got a late start. As I said, I had family over previous weekend, And now I feel hungover from the weekend with all the events and stuff that went on. So I'm going to try to get all these orders out, and throughout the week we will show you what comes in. Maybe I'll unbox some of these and see what all this junk is. Let's do that here. So we need to get this video up to 10 minutes, right? So people can actually talk or enjoy some stuff. So let's go ahead and find my... I'm going to try to find a knife in this mess. Okay, that's it. We should have called it a day. Mondays for you. So yeah, I can't even find a knife here. So I think we're going to have to use keys. And there's a knife as I'm off camera. All right, so again, things that are selling hot here, of course. Aether Drift. Aether Drift was an absolute knock out of the park for the sales after the pre-order. The pre-order was quite low for things like set boosters. I think when they create things like the drift bundles, it's very, very tough for the regular things to sell. I still am very bearish for play boosters long term. I think play boosters are by far the most inferior product, especially since now pre-release kits as well as bundles have play boosters in them. So your best bang for the buck, if you're thinking about the dice and the promo you get from a pre-release pack, and you think about all the other stuff you get from a bundle, I think, and that both of those are limited print, and both those tend to age quicker. So maybe 3-4 years down the road, this might not be the case. But if you actually look back at things like this one, here's a good example of Kamigawa. Even though Kamigawa had set and play boosters, or set and draft boosters, the pre-release kits and the bundles are doing much better than both the set boosters and the draft boosters. And we're even looking at things like Foundation pre-releases. These ones, bundles and pre-releases from Foundations, are doing much better, of course, than play boosters. Dustmorn, I think pre-release kits are starting to tick up, and the same thing with the bundles. So it's kind of this, like, you got to pick your poison here of if you're going to be like holding on products. Is, of course, the play boosters are going to be the most liquid. They're going to be able to find the homes the quickest. But if you are willing to wait for buyers and you want things to appreciate in value more, the bundles and the pre-release kits by far, I think, are the better route to go. So do not wait on Aether Drift if you are going to be ordering either bundles or pre-release kits. We have seen the vast majority of pre-release kits from the recent sets have gone out of stock at distribution level. So just a word to the wise there. And I really love bundles. All right, what do we get in this massive? Oh yeah, so this is what I've noticed has been picking up. A lot of board game orders. So having a lot of board game orders. So we got the smartphone here. I believe I know who that goes to. So again, if you're a patron, those things are all also available to order. We are a one-stop shop. That's kind of what separates me from the other billions of subscription services that have popped up. I've noticed a lot of people have been, trying to duplicate what I do. Is I basically have access to whatever you can get. So oftentimes I get some weird orders here. So I'm being limited to a case a week right now for Baldur's Gate sets. So I've been buying my Baldur's Gate sets every time I do an order. In fact, that's like, I'm glad I get some board game orders so I can throw in some orders with usually a case gets it up. A case of Baldur's will get it up to where you get to the free shipping, where you never want to do an order if you don't get to pay free shipping for distributors. All right, what is this stuff? I don't even want to open this. I don't want to know what's in this package. So a lot of these are like, I apologize too with a lot of the orders. Yes, we've been busy, but also the orders have been lagging behind. Like one of the distributors did tell us it's going to take 5 days because they are so backed up. They've had unprecedented orders. So January was their highest sales volume of all time from Pokemon and Magic being so strong, and they just didn't have the employees to be able to handle all of the increased orders. So yeah, that is a huge sign for the market that it's still strong through February. I have seen a little bit of cooling off, not on my end, but on TCG Player and some of the eBays, like those markets for both Pokemon and Magic. And I want to say cooling off because they're just not exploding like they were. They weren't like every week going up 10, 20%. So, all right, so what's in here? So these are 3-pack blisters. So again, this is, okay, I know what these are. These are my allocations for these. And here, you be prepared to be disappointed if you did order these. So it looks like from this distributor, this is it. This is all I'm getting for the Pokemon. So they come with like, oh, these are just now Celestial promos. So Celestial promos here. There's another game, new card game. There are so many card games that have come out in the past year. We're under a huge bubble with that too. I'd be very careful with all those. If you enjoy them, of course, play them, but do not do not be investing in these secondary games or these tertiary games at this point. All right, so it looks like I'm getting 4 tech stickers, 4 of these Prismatic Evolution 3-packs. So I put in for hundreds of these. This is the sad reality of Prismatic Evolutions. Again, I'm very disappointed with distributors because I think that they are allocating a lot of product to new accounts. You know, this is always frustrating with distributors. It feels like they're always more willing and eager to help new accounts to try to get them on board. And some of their older accounts that have been there with years, they kind of push to the side, which is the exact opposite of what I think should be happening. So, looks like I get 1 restock of a poster collection. Woo. And that's the same poster collection before. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say woo. I'm glad to get anything because these have great margins right now. At this point, we're sold out here at our store. So, yeah, we have a guy that comes into our store and he's pulled the Vaporeon from the expensive Vaporeon from Prismatic Evolutions, and then just pulled the Umbreon from Evolving Skies. And it's funny because we were going to open up Evolving Skies, and it probably would have been that one. And then I'm like, no, not going to do it. This pack's too expensive. And so, yeah, so Umbreon was pulled at our store, which is crazy. But then I want to like tell everyone, it's not that rare. This is like the second Umbreon we've seen in our area that has been pulled from our store, from the packs of, and I didn't have a lot of Evolving Skies to begin with. I mean, we've gone through quite a, I mean, we're a store, we go through quite a bit of packs, but I mean, these things are not rare in like when you think about collectibles, the things that's propping up Pokemon is just the sheer demand of people that do want these cards at the moment. But be very careful with this stuff. I think that Zach looked up how many Umbreons have been graded, and it's like up to 1,100 of them have been graded from Evolving Skies. So, and these were like 9s and higher that were in existence, because you can find like the tally that like, what grading company was that? Was that Beckett or oh, Zach's ignoring me. But yeah, so be careful with Pokemon. I still think it's a massive bubble that's going to have a correction. And when that correction happens, unfortunately, when you're so collectible driven, it causes a chain reaction, it causes a domino effect. And then we go through a lull, and then it will take something that will get everyone hyped up about Pokemon. And I've learned to ride with it. And next time around, I'm going to, buy, definitely. I did buy the last low as well. So I'm glad to do that, because a lot of these products are actually making quite a bit of money now. I'm glad I didn't sell when everything was crashing. But be careful with all of the graded cards. I still think that people are in a world of hurt that have put a lot of money into those type of cards, getting them graded and whatnot, and buying all this product, because there will be a correction. This bubble cannot last indefinitely. I think we are at the height of Pokemon. And sure, if it continues to grow, awesome, it continues to grow. But the best indicator of the future is the past, and we've seen these things happen over and over again. So anyway, what else we got? Okay, so speaking of bundles, got a restock of bundles in here from Outlaws of Thunder Junction. Some more pre-release packs, because I've had a ton of orders for pre-release packs for Aether Drift. These are going to be cases of something, and this box is so beat up, so everything in this is okay. We have, tons of Bloomburrow. So katanas. Okay, so my katanas came off back order that I've been waiting for forever, and it looks like a bunch of Bloomburrow in here, which has been out of stock for a while. So anyway, as I trip over all these boxes, I have got my work cut out for me to do. Like I said, we're going to rearrange this room, get all organized, get all these boxes out of here. Try to get some orders shipped off, but unfortunately, they're probably not going to go out until tomorrow. I'll get allocations for Pokemon out for everyone. I apologize for how slow it's been with the Blooming Waters and whatnot. I'm just still waiting. There's still one distributor that hasn't even sent me the Blooming Waters, so I'm still waiting for that as well. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments in the comment section below, I try to read all of them, and I'll try to respond back to them. As always, thanks for watching.